Hello, everybody. Today we're looking at Rev 2, the Enlightenment, and filling in the notes for this section. I love the Enlightenment. You have the scientific revolution. Everybody gets revved up because they have these new ideas with science. And now they're starting to say, hey, if we can do all these changes to science, what if we do this to society? What if we created a society where people are more equal and you don't have the king telling you what to do all the time? What if we create something amazing? A democracy. Right? This whole idea that the people are in charge of the government, the people rule the government, and the government is made for them. And so that's what we're going to focus on with the Enlightenment. So here we go. So to begin, it's period from the 1500s to the 1700s, and people begin to apply reason to all aspects of life, including government and individual rights and freedoms. And some of the main concepts that you're going to see here. Number one, the idea of reason. Truth can be discovered through reason and logical thinking. People start to try to understand, okay, why are things as they are and can we change them? Logical thinking and reason would do that. Number two, nature. There's this belief that there are natural laws and rights that guide us. John Locke would say those rights are the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of property. Jefferson will change it to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. But there's beliefs. There are these rules that you can follow within nature, especially for a government. And if you follow them, there will be happiness. There's no need for misery. And so in the past, we were okay with misery and said, oh, God wills it. Now they're saying, no, we can become enlightened. We can know more about the world. And if we use reason and we understand these natural laws, then we don't have to have misery. We can live a better life and we can have a better society. And so the next concept you're going to see is progress. The idea that humankind can continually be more and more perfected and that we can make changes that are going to better ourselves and better the way we live around each other in a city, in a state, in a country, whatever it might be. And lastly, liberty. And this is the real big one that America caught on to, and this became a big part of our revolution. The idea that we can set society free and give people more rights and more freedoms. So when Jefferson's writing that Declaration of Independence, he's really focusing on this idea that the people should be free to make their own decisions as long as they follow the laws, and the laws should be made for the benefit of the people, not for the benefit of the king. And so that's a very big switch. Before this point, most people were looking at the king and what, the king is desiring. Now the idea is the government's for us because we make up the government. So the impacts, what do we see? They challenge beliefs of the past. So one of those beliefs that they challenge is this idea of divine kingship. Is the king actually divinely appointed by God? And they really question this because it doesn't seem like it'd be something that actually is happening, right? And so the king loses stature because now people don't necessarily say, oh, he's the king, God appointed him. People are starting to say he's the king because he had wealth or power. And that doesn't necessarily mean that he's the best ruler for us. There are theories, their ideas inspire revolutions. The American Revolution, the French Revolution, both of them are focusing on this idea of citizens' rights and citizens' ability to control the government. And so that all comes from the Enlightenment. We didn't just make that up. It's not like the founding fathers woke up one day and were like, hey, let's come up with these new concepts. They were already there. We just took them further than we had seen them before. The individual becomes important. They gain importance. And the individual is seen as the center of a strong government. Think about how our government works. We vote, right? And those individual little votes all together decide big decisions, like who's going to be a governor or a sheriff or a representative, a senator, or even the president. And so individuals matter. It's not just about the group. It's about individuals, their freedoms, their rights, and their votes. And major scientific discoveries were made. What does this lead people to believe? They believe that we can make discoveries that change the way we live together as well. We can make discoveries to make government better, to make it more fair, to make it more equal, all of those things. And as all this is going on, we see more secularism and worldly ideas grow. And so people begin to question the church and its teachings, especially where science proves it wrong. And they begin to think, hey, maybe the church doesn't have the best plan for us in government. Maybe we can make that ourselves. So in the end, what do we see? With the Enlightenment, people begin to believe that government should be for the people and of the people. Humans have a great capacity to learn, and this knowledge can create a better world for us all to live in that is more fair to all of society. And so the Enlightenment's all about bettering ourselves, bettering humans as a group, and making sure we have a government that's going to protect us and is made up of citizens who get to decide what that government is going to focus on. There you go. There's the basics for the Enlightenment. As always, feel free to talk to your teacher if this doesn't make any sense at all. We'll try to help you out. Have a good one.